Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered why sentences sound natural when structured correctly, but confusing when arranged randomly? That's because of syntax, the system that governs how words combine to form meaning. Today, we will explore syntactic functions, starting with word classes, the building blocks of sentences. Imagine if I said, dog the chase, cat the. Confusing, right? That's because word order and function are very crucial in communication. Let's begin by understanding the foundation. Word classes are what we call parts of speech. Every word in a sentence belongs to a specific category based on how it behaves in a sentence. There are 8 major word classes, and each plays a unique role. Nouns. Words that name people, places, things, or ideas. For example, teacher, apple, school, happiness, courage. How nouns function. As the subject, the teacher explained the lesson. As the object, she adopted a puppy. As a compliment, my dream is to become a doctor. Think about the words you use every day. Your name, your city, your favorite food. All of these are nouns. Verbs. Words that express action or state of being. For example, run, dance, think, be, seem. How verb function as the main action. He runs in the morning. As a linking verb, she is happy. As an auxiliary verb, she has finished her homework. Verbs are the heartbeat of a sentence. Without them, we wouldn't know what's happening. Adjectives. Words that describe nouns. For example, tall, blue, intelligent, expensive. For the function, before a noun, the red car is fast. After a linking verb, the car is red. Adjectives give color to our language. Instead of just saying a cat, we can say a fluffy orange cat. That paints a picture in our minds. And the last one is adverbs. Words that modify verbs, adjective, or other adverbs. For example, quickly, very, well, always. For the function, modifying a verb, she runs quickly. Modifying an adjective, he is very tall. Adverbs are detailed. Instead of saying he spoke, you could say he spoke softly, which change how we imagine the action. Now that we understand word classes, we can move to the next step. How words function within a sentence. Let's pass it on to the next speaker.
Now that we've learned about word classes, let's dive deeper into how this word functions within a sentence. Every word plays a role, but the 3 most important syntactic functions are the subject, the predicate, and the object. These components form the backbone of sentence structure. Without them, sentence will not make sense. Imagine a sentence without a subject. Runs quickly. Who runs? We don't know. Or imagine a sentence without a predicate. The cat. What about the cat? Did it sleep, jump, or run? Again, we don't know. This is why understanding subject, predicate, and objects is essential to measuring sentence structure. The subject. The subject is the part of sentence that indicates who or what is performing the action or experiencing a state. It is often a noun or pronoun, but it can also be a noun phrase or even an entire clause. There's a type of subject. The first one, we have simple subject. This is the main noun or pronoun performing the actions. For example, dog barks loudly. Dogs is simple subject. Another example, she sings beautifully. She is the simple subject. The second one, we have complete subject. Complete subject is the simple subject that pulls out its modifiers. Adjective, determiners, or prepositional phrase. For example, the black dog in the backyard barks loudly. The simple subject is dog, and the complete subject is the black dog in the backyard. And the last one, we have compound subject. Compound subject is when 2 or more subjects share the same verb. For example, John and Sarah love hiking. John and Sarah from a compound subject. To find the subject, ask who or what is performing the actions. The bird sings. Who sings? The bird is the subject. My best friend and I went to the movies. Who went? My best friend and I is the subject. The predicate. The predicate is the part of sentence that tells us some things about the subject. Its content, the verb, and may also include objects, complements, and modifiers. There's a type of predicate. The first one, we have simple predicate. Simple predicate is the main verb in the sentence. For example, she runs. Runs is the simple predicate. Another example, the baby cried. Cried is the simple predicate. For the second one, we have complete predicate. Complete predicate is the verb plus any modifier, object, or phrase that provide additional information. For example, she runs every morning before school. The simple predicate is runs, and the complete predicate is runs every morning before school. And the last one, we have compound predicate, when two or more verbs share the same subject. Example, she danced and sang at the party. Dance and song form a compound predicate. To find the predicate, ask what is happening in the sentence. The cat sleeps on the sofa. What is happening? Sleeps on the sofa is the predicate. Another example, my parents bought a new car yesterday. What is happening? Bought a new car yesterday is the predicate. Objects. The object is the part of the sentence that receives the action of the verb. It can be a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. There are three types of objects: direct objects, indirect objects, and prepositional objects. The first one is direct object. Direct object is the recipient of the action. It answers the question what or whom after the verb. For example, she wrote a letter. Letter is the direct object because it received the action wrote. The second one, we have indirect object. Indirect object is indicate to whom or for whom the action is done. It comes before the direct object. For example, she gave her brother a gift. The direct object is a gift, and indirect object is her brother. Another example, he told his friend a secret. The direct object is a secret, and the indirect object is his friend. And the last one, we have prepositional object. Prepositional object is a noun phrase that follow a preposition and complete its meaning. For example, she looked at the painting. Painting is the prepositional object. Another example, we talk about the project. The project is the prepositional object. To find the direct object, ask what or whom after the verb. She bought a dress. She bought what? A dress is the direct object. To find the indirect object, ask to whom or for whom. She gave her friend a present. She gave what? Yes, a present is the direct object. She gave a present to whom? Her friend is indirect object. By understanding subjects, predicates, and objects, we gain a solid foundation for analyzing simple structure. If you ever struggle with identifying these components, remember to ask simple questions like who is doing the actions and what is being affected by the actions. This trick will help you break down any sentence. Next, we'll move deeper into sentence structure by discussing complements and modifiers, elements that add more meaning and description to sentence.
Now that we've covered subjects, predicates, and objects, let's take our understanding a step further. Not all sentences stop at just these three components. Some sentences include words or phrases that provide extra details, either by describing something more precisely or by completing the meaning of a sentence. These elements are called complements and modifiers. Complements complete the meaning of a subject or object, while modifiers add additional information. Understanding how these work will help us construct more complex and meaningful sentences. Let us start with complements. What is a complement? A complement is a word or group of words that completes the meaning of a sentence. Unlike modifiers, which can be removed without making a sentence grammatically incorrect, complements are essential to the structure of the sentence. Types of complements. Types of complements include subject complements or object complements. Subject complements is a complement that follows a linking verb, for example, like is, seem, become, look, feel. This gives additional information about the subject. Subject complements are also either nouns or adjectives. For example, she is a doctor. The word doctor adds another characteristic quality to the subject she. He looks tired. The word tired adds another additional characteristic to the subject he. How do we identify subject complement? Simple, really. Replace the verb with equals to see if the sentence still makes sense. Coming back to the previous example, she equals a doctor. This makes sense, so the doctor is the subject complement. He equals tired. This also makes sense, so the tired word is now the subject complement. If removing the words makes the sentence incomplete, that also confirms the test and that word is a complement. Now, let's move on to the next one, object complement, or OC. An object complement follows a direct object and provides additional information about it. Object complements are usually nouns, adjectives, or infinitives. Example of object complements are, we painted the walls blue. The color blue describes another characteristic of the walls. The teacher called him lazy. The word lazy adds another characteristic to the subject him. And again, how do we identify an object complement? Repeat back to the previous test. You find or look for a direct object first, then check if the word after it describes or renames the object. For example, we elected her captain. Her equals captain. This makes it so that the captain is the object complement. Another one, they found the movie boring. Movie equals boring. This makes it that boring is the object complement. Now that we understand complements, let's move on to modifiers, elements that make sentences richer by adding extra details. What is a modifier? A modifier is a word, phrase, or clause that adds extra information to a sentence. Unlike complements, modifiers are not essential to the grammatical structure of a sentence, meaning you can remove them and the sentence will still make sense grammatically and semantically as well. For example, she drove a car. This is a basic sentence. She drove a red car. The color red modifies the car, adding more details. She drove a very fast car. The word very fast adds even more detail. Not forgetting types of modifiers. Types of modifiers include adjective modifiers, which modify nouns and pronouns to describe qualities, and adverbial modifiers, which modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Prepositional phrases as modifier. A prepositional phrase consists of a preposition plus a noun or a pronoun that acts as an adjective or adverb. For example, the book on the table is mine. This tells which book belongs to the subject. The girl with red hair smiled. This tells which girls smile with an additive characteristic. Now that we've covered two essential elements of sentence structures, let us simplify so that we can make key takeaways from this discussion. Subject complements is a complement that renames or describes the subject. Object complements is a complement that renames or describes the object. Adjectives and adverbs modify nouns and verbs. And finally, prepositional phrases adds detail. By recognizing complements and modifiers, you can improve sentence construction and express ideas with clarity. Next, let's explore how words interact in different sentence structures with thematic roles.
Now that we have learned about subjects, predicates, object, complements, and modifiers, we're going to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. How all these elements work together to form complete, meaningful sentence. This is where syntax plays a crucial role. Syntax is more than just knowing word order. It's about understanding how different elements interact to create meaning. A slight change in structure can completely alter the meaning of a sentence. For example, compare these two sentences: the dog chased the cat, and the cat chased the dog. Even though the words are the same, the syntax determines who is doing what in each case. That's why syntax is the foundation of clear communication in every language. 1. Sentence structure and the role of syntax. Syntax governs the way words are arranged into phrase, clause, and sentence. Every sentence follows a structural pattern that dictates meaning and clarity. Without proper syntax, communication becomes confusing. A. Basic sentence structure. A sentence is made up of phrase and clause that follow a syntactic pattern. The most common structure in English is SVO, subject, verb, object. Example 1. Basic SVO sentence: John is subject, it is verb, and apple is object. Example 2. Incorrect syntax: it's apple John, confusing to incorrect order. English follow a strict word order, meaning that changing the order often changes the meaning or makes the sentence ungrammatical. She gave him a book is correct, and gave him she a book is incorrect. However, other languages follow different syntactic rules, like SVO is English, French, seeds and apple, and SOV is Japanese and Korean, she and apple eats. VSO is Arabic and Irish, it's she and apple. The way language arrange their word can be different, but all follow syntactic rules that help speakers understanding meaning. 2. Thematic rules and how they affect sentence structure. So far, we're talking about syntax in terms of word order and sentence structure, but there's another layer to it: thematic rules. These rules explain how different nouns function in a sentence beyond just being the subject or object. Thematic rules help us understand the relationship between words in a sentence. Here are some key ones. A. Thematic rules and their function again. The drawer of an action: John kicked the ball. John is agent, experiencer, someone who experienced an emotion or perception. She felt cold, she is experiencer. Them, the entity affected by the action. The ball was kicked by John's, ball is them. Instrument, the tool used to perform an action. He wrote a pen, pen is instrument. Recipient, the receiver of an object. She gave me a book, me is recipient. Location, where an action takes place. She slept in her room. Room is location. B. Thematic rules. Now let's see how changing syntax affects thematic rules. Look at these two sentences. Active voice: the dog agent kissed the cat Tam. Passive voice: the cat Tam was chased by dog agent. Notice how in the passive voice the term becomes the focus of the sentence instead of the agent. This is a direct result of how syntax reshapes meaning by rearranging words. 3. Conclusion. Why syntax matter? We covered a lot about syntactic functions, subject, predicates, object, complements, modifiers, and thematic rules. But why does they matter? Key takeaways. Syntax is the foundation of clear and meaningful communication. It helps structure sentences logically and grammatically. Thematic rules show how words relate to each other in sentence. Different languages have different syntactic rules, but all follow consistent patterns. Avoiding syntactic errors ensures better understanding and fluency. Mastering syntax allows us to express ideas clearly, whether we're writing on academic paper, delivering speech, or simply having a conversation. Every sentence we speak or write follows syntactic rules, even if we don't realize it. Thank you for listening, and I hope this discussion helped you understanding why syntax is one of the most powerful tools in language. Bye-bye!